about some things that actually are true and like explain them properly, because there are some things that the right information is out there, but if you don't have somebody to actually explain it to you properly and the reason behind it, it can confuse you, right? It cannot make sense. And that's where I was even just a week ago. Like I think it was like this past Sunday, or maybe it was a Sunday before, you and I were talking on the phone, and I was just in a state of a little bit of confusion there, right? I didn't understand what was going on. So I wanted to get some of that confusion out of the minds of a lot of people that are out there. And then there's a lot of things that are actually significantly better than they were 2.5, 3 weeks ago. And we want to talk about those things as well. And then kind of wrap up with maybe like a vision of where you see things going. So let's talk about some of the myths to start off with. What are some things that you think that people are just like, it's just not factual? What are some things like that we need to disprove?
Well, before we get started, I'm an entrepreneur and you're an entrepreneur, and we definitely see things very similarly, right? And when we see a good opportunity, we tend to roll up our sleeves and kind of go for it, right? We get in the middle of the fight and we go for it. And really, an entrepreneur or business owner is just someone who is unemployable. Okay. So they have to create their own jobs. So that's what we are. And that's what I've been for many years. But when I saw IHUB Global and I learned about helium and I learned about what it was trying to accomplish, and I said to myself, this is the first one of these crypto things that I've seen that actually makes sense to me. It has a business model behind it, and it's something that is translatable, relatable to people, everyday people, building the people's network. And it's never been done before. And that's what really was so exciting for me. And iHub Global just gave me the vehicle in which to participate in this thing that's never happened before. So I get involved, very novice, didn't know anything, started to really voraciously educate myself on everything I could find, videos, who's the founder, where did it come from, due diligence period, right? And my due diligence led me to the fact that I think that this is an incredible legacy potential opportunity. And then I started to, hear about what other people say about it, right? There's people that have been very nicely going and building their own little networks outside of iHub, and they're making good money on their boxes and everything. And they don't like what iHub is, right? They don't like that this company's going to come in and get millions. So they're naturally going to be negative towards it. They're going to be anti-iHub people, and that's okay. Those people, believe it or not, a lot of them have eventually come full circle and said, hey, I want to participate in this because I can see myself making more money with the iHub opportunity because of the leverage that it provides. But the myths are, okay, this company started like the concept of bringing iHub together started about January. And early adopters came in and they had one thing where you could go and buy a 6-pack of boxes. That's 6 boxes to put around a certain area that would generate enough revenue for that to make sense for people. And they realized that, if we're going to really go big with this, we need hundreds of thousands, eventually millions of boxes. So to go around and try to get a bunch of people to lay down $3,000 to get 6 boxes, and it's not going to scale that way. So then the company really wanted to do the free deployment. Okay. Free deployment sounded great. Now think about it. If I go to you and say, hey, I've got a box, I'm going to give you this box for free. You connect it to your Wi-Fi, put it up on a shelf and near a window at the top of the house, let it go, and you're going to make $100 a month. Who wouldn't want that? If you knew that, you would say, sign me up all day for that.
Yeah.
But then exactly. So all of a sudden we started attracting in a bunch of different types of marketers, typically affiliate marketers. These are the folks that go out there and they have big budgets to do internet marketing, and they sell the concept of get a box, make $100 a month, that kind of thing. Well, everyone's signing up. Everybody and their brother, mother, sister, everyone. They're just going in and saying, yeah, sign me up, sign me up, sign me up. So all of a sudden we went from literally, I think when I came in, it was 24,000 affiliates to 1 million in a very short period of time. We're talking 2 months, right? Wow. So then iHub says, okay, we've got to test this theory out of the free deployment. We need to do a beta test because our investors who are going to invest a ton of money with us, they want to make sure that the free deployment goes well. They take a sampling of 600 boxes. they start shipping them out to the free deployment people. People are getting their boxes, and guess what? There was a lot of people that got a box. They didn't even know what they got. They didn't even know what it was for. They didn't
Yeah.
even open it. So
So they just sent
24%
to random people. They sent to 600 random people.
random people, because that's the way it was going to work, right? They
Okay.
picked good addresses and stuff from their
Right.
intelligence software, but then the people got it, and some people went and put it in, but 24%. Right now, it's about 22% of those original 600. They didn't even open the box. They didn't even know what it was for. They didn't even know what they had signed up for.
Hmm.
So free, even though you're giving a gold brick that's going to generate potentially whatever every month, it's going to be a cash flow positive situation. You would think that people would rush, grab the FedEx driver, rip them off the truck, get the box, run upstairs, plug it in, and start making money. But that's just not free. Is free, and it always will be.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can't afford to do free. So back to the drawing board, and the investor group says, you know what? I think that there has to be a skin in the game for the individual who's going to be the host or the builder, and also from our perspective, with laying out literally $150 million, we would like to have some type of liability protection. Okay,
Sure.
so we had to come out with that big news announcement. And it was kind of like, when I first heard it, I was like, oh my gosh, just everyone who had been knee deep in this company is, oh my gosh. Well, as I started to understand the business aspect of it, the reality of putting on my business cap and saying, well, if I were them, I wouldn't do it either. So it doesn't make sense financially. Now, over the past 2 months, I've been able to attract about 200 boxes into the business. Okay, some from people that had boxes outside that are integrating it in integrating their boxes in. So I've got some pretty good practical application with working with people to set them up, get antennas. I've seen what works and what doesn't work. Now,
Mm.
I tell you that just for the benefit of the knowledge that what they're doing is genius, because in the free model, nobody knew when they were going to get their box. All of a sudden, there's a million affiliates. How the heck when am I going to get my box? I have no idea. Is it next month? Is it 6 months from now? Is it a year from now? If I live in Wyoming and there's nobody else around me, am I ever going to get a box?
Yeah.
So that to me was a big dark cloud hanging over the IHUB network.